This video is part of Lesson 8 in the course The Church, the Body of Christ. In this video, a self-supporting church that produces fruits.
In this video, we look at what a self-supporting church is. A self-supporting church is independent and is 1. Self-led, 2. Self-reproducing, 3. Self-sustaining. And we have to begin sort of with the end in mind, because Jesus commanded on counting the cost in Luke 14, verses 27 through 33, when he said, "Whoever does not bear his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? Otherwise, when he has laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, 'This man began to build and was not able to finish.' Or what king, going out to encounter another king in war, will not first sit down and deliberate whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000? And if not, while the other is yet a great way off, he sends a delegation and asks for terms of peace." Now these questions may seem unspiritual, but they are a part of preparing well. When we plan to deliver the gospel to generations in a given context, when you plan to have an independent church, you as a mother church have to know beforehand, can I do this? Can I nurture this child? It is the same as in nature. At a certain way, your child has to become independent. The new church has to be self-supporting in those three ways we mentioned: self-led, self-reproducing, and self-sustaining. 1. Self-led. In our last video, we looked at how Paul encouraged Titus to appoint elders and eldership teams in every church that he planted. So that is step 1 of becoming independent. You must have your own leadership team. Now, there's nothing wrong with asking a consultant at that very moment, because maybe you're not used to doing that. So ask somebody who has really the experience of forming teams. And in Titus' case, it was Paul who recommended certain things and who was guiding him. So maybe you need it as well. But what we want to have is a church that at the end has a good team and is self-led. 2. Self-reproducing. Now, a healthy church also reproduces itself. Now, that's maybe a bit similar to what you have in a family. When you have children, you hope that they also will have children and so forth. Or when you have an apple tree with apples, that apple will fall from the tree, and there the seeds will raise a new apple tree. It will grow from there, and that tree will grow other trees. So that is how a healthy church also is reproducing. When we plant churches, we want to plant churches that are reproducing. And Paul explains this idea very well in 2 Timothy 2, verse 2, where he says, "What you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others." So there's this sequence of ongoing reproduction of churches, of leaders, of disciples. 3. Self-sustaining. Just as we do when we are blessed with children, we do likewise when we are blessed with a new church. That church plant has to be self-sustaining, become financially independent, and in all other ways. So many parents remember the headache it gives when you think about the whole process of supporting your children. Oh, now it still has to go through the whole of primary and then secondary and then, God willing, the university. What will it cost? Now, You buy everything for your children, like, if possible, the clothing, the food, the school fees, and so forth. But what a relief it is when your child is an adult and lives on his own and start having a life and being independent. Now that's what we look for in the Mother Church. We want a self-sustaining church. And in the first years, it might mean that you have to help as a Mother Church. It might mean that the pastor has to have a bivocational calling. Maybe he works as a farmer, as a taxi driver, as whatever, and as a pastor of the church to be able to sustain himself. But what you want is you guide the new church to become totally self-sustaining. Now in this video, we looked at how a new church has to become self-supporting. And we looked at that process from 3 different vantage points. Become self-led, become self-reproducing, become self-sustaining.
You have been watching a video, A Self-Supporting Church That Produces Fruits, in the course, The Church, the Body of Christ. Thanks for watching. May God bless this course in your personal life, congregation or ministry.